What is up, everybody? You are checking out the PGH Chris Show here on PGH Chris TV, PGH Chris Productions. I am your host, PGH Chris TV here. We're going to go over the Steelers and Ravens game, Week 18. Winner goes to the playoffs, gets that 4 seed, gets that home playoff game, and the loser goes home at a respective 9-8 record. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not new to situations like this. This is like the 15th year in a row that we are doing this. I think the NFL loves it. I think the fans love it. I hate it. I hate that I'm even talking about this game being the probably the biggest game ever, and I'll get into that reason why in a second. But if you guys are checking the show, please make sure to go check out our sponsor, DUBBY Energy. DUBBY is the official sponsor, not just the PGH Chris Show, but PGH Chris TV Productions. Use code PGHChris for 10% off of your order at checkout. Use DUBBY Energy, be better, and join the DUBBY movement. And before we get into the video, let's hear from our word from our sponsor, DUBBY. All right, everybody, make sure to use code PGHChris at checkout for 10% off your order for DUBBY. Join the DUBBY movement and be better. And a quick thank you to all of our partners and sponsors of the PGH Chris TV show. Now, let's get back to our program. Thank you to all of our partners, DUBBY Energy, Dude Wipes, the official sponsor of the Sports Jedi Network. Sports Jedi Network, our watch along. Ladies and before I get into anything, guys, tomorrow night for the game, I will be doing the watch along. Not by myself. I will be on Sports Jedi Network, Sports Jedi Media on X, Sports Jedi Network on YouTube. Me and Kev will be showing the game. He's not a Ravens or a Steelers fan. He is a New York Jets fan. So it's going to be cool to talk the game, watch the game with somebody who is not biased towards one team. So go check us out on the Sports Jedi Network tomorrow night during the game. We will be there live, play by play, all that good stuff, man. What could be our last game of the year. Let's talk about it. So tomorrow, we're getting ready to preview. We're getting ready to go. AFC North title game here in Pittsburgh. Now we did walk into Baltimore a month back, and you know we beat the Ravens. Obviously, with that last play that Isaiah likely missed, he caught the ball, got across the end zone, but didn't fully, I guess, go in. So it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. I know the Ravens want revenge for that game. Obviously, they're playing for everything, and so are we. Essentially, we gotta take into consideration here on what we have and what we don't have. So obviously, DK Metcalf's not playing. He is suspended. He's not playing, which is really the big reason on why I didn't want to have this game take place in the magnitude that it is right now, because it is a winner goes home, winner advances, loser goes home type of game, like it is every year for these two teams at week 18. We don't have DK Metcalf. We saw how that impacted our offense last week against Cleveland, and we're it's a tough one. It's a tough one. So Marlon Humphrey's not playing. That's obviously their key cornerback, right? Obviously they got Kyle Hamlin out there playing the safety, but Marlon Humphrey's their guy. He's the guy that they will have lined up against DK. So he is questionable for an illness, but I don't see. I see a lot of these questionable guys on both teams just pushing through and playing. I mean, this is their season on the line for both teams. That's why Lamar Jackson is playing. That's why TJ Watt, which it would have been nice to give that man another week to rest. I don't know how many times I need to say it. I need to stress it. I mean, he's recovering from a medical related illness. It's no injury. So having him rest that extra week would have been very, very helpful, especially, going into the playoffs. We would have had our secure playoff spot. But obviously that's not the circumstances. We need TJ Watt in the game. I think TJ Watt is going to be a full participant in practice. I think he was a full participant in practice. Even if he's not, I still see him playing. If TJ Watt and the medical doctors say he's good to go, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. But it's good that, obviously we'll have Calvin Austin back in our lineup. He's available. He's there for a full participation. Obviously Rogers, Cam Hayward, and all that stuff. Um, but it's going to be an interesting one, man. There's a lot that I want to see happen in this game, that needs to happen in this game. And we got to move the ball down the field. I'm yet to kind of figure out how that's going to happen. We saw, obviously, I mentioned this and I'm going to keep mentioning it. Our offense isn't shit without DK Metcalf. We saw how badly that Steelers offense could not move the ball down the field. We have no threats. And that's been something all season, even with DK Metcalf. As you guys can see right here for the season, he only has 59 receptions for 6 touchdowns. So he's not exactly impressing, anybody by any means, but he is still a big weapon when he's on the field. Teams are going to make sure he is doubled. That's why our run game, the last couple of weeks has been good. It's because they're heavy on covering DK, especially in the zones where it ends up being a double team. You have that wide open outside. Kenneth Gainwell's there on the flat. He catches it. He's out for yards. So him being in the game just impacts our offense a lot. I think Kenneth Gainwell is going to be that guy. He was voted team MVP. I think he's going to be the guy that really steps up in this game. I know I've heard a lot of things from multiple podcast people that talk about the Steelers, and I respect all of them. I'm fans of some of them, and I would like to talk to a lot of these people, probably after this game is over, because I think we're some of us Steelers fans will look at the offensive things a little bit different. I've been saying this since last season because again I know this kid can play, Roman Wilson. You have got to activate this man into your lineup this week. We cannot have another week where Marquez Valdes-Scantling is the guy that we need to rely on. We cannot rely on him. Adam Thielen is washed. This is his last game probably of his career. We have got to get Marquez Valdes-Scantling as an X backside receiver, which means if Aaron Rodgers says gun right, he's lined up 1-on-1 to the left. Spread left, he's 1-on-1. Now, if it's a double formation trips, or double formation twins, if I say twins right, he goes to the left side. He's always backside. You put him backside and you have Roman Wilson in the slot, Calvin Austin as your A on the outside in that twins formation. You have Jonnu Smith or Pat Freiermuth as your other inside slot guy as a tight end playing that lined up as a receiver. It could open the offense. We don't have Darnell Washington, which hurts, but you could have Jonnu Smith be the Darnell Washington for this game. He still needs to go out there and make those plays and all that. You can have him lined up as a fullback essentially, as a halfback, but a tailback. But you have to utilize him more than you have all year, especially with Darnell Washington not being your guy, because he essentially is, an offensive lineman that can catch the ball. There's nobody really like the guy in the league. So him not playing when DK's not available, he's suspended. It hurts the offense tremendously. So that's something they got to check out for, because it's not going to be a fun night. That Ravens defense, especially those defensive backs, they're going to be up on the Steelers all night if we don't get anything rolling. We need to figure out something at this point. I've talked all season on what they could do, what they should do, and they're not doing it. I don't know what else I can say, because what they're doing on the field clearly sucks. And I think they think that their shit doesn't stink, and it's horrible. It is horrible. So that basically is what I want to see offensively. Got to move the ball down the field. Got to score touchdowns. Every point matters. I don't need to be going for it on 4th and 3 when we could kick a 30-yard field goal. So That's just what we got to watch out for offensively. Move the ball down the field and score points. When we come back from an ad from our word from our sponsor, DUBBY Energy, I want to talk a little bit about what we should do on the defense and how the Steelers can lock this game up. But first, another word from our sponsor, DUBBY Energy. All right, everybody, make sure to use code PGHChris at checkout for 10% off your order for DUBBY. Join the DUBBY movement and be better. And a quick thank you to all of our partners and sponsors of the PGH Chris TV show. Now, let's get back to our program. Thank you again to our amazing sponsor and partners of the PGH Chris show and PGH Chris TV productions. Ladies and gentlemen, what I want to see defensively, real quick before we wrap up here, we have got to see this defense just stop that run. And I think, they're not going to make the mistake they've been making the last couple of weeks, but especially that last Pittsburgh game that was on December 6th. They're going to have Derrick Henry in the game. They are going to use Derrick Henry like no other. They're going to run the ball down our throats. They're going to make sure he is in on the last drive of the game if it comes down to that. They're not going to make that same mistake more than twice. I would say twice, but they've made that mistake multiple times this year, which has caused them games. But they sure as hell aren't going to make that mistake twice on a division rival team, division championship game that implicates their season. They're going to use Derrick Henry. They're going to run the ball down our throats. Lamar Jackson's playing. That means they're going to run a lot of triple option. We have got to QB contain like no other, baby. That's why it is important, like no other, that TJ Watt is on the field this Sunday night, tomorrow night. That's why it is important he is on the field, is because they are going to run triple option like no other. No other. And don't act like, that's all they're going to do. They still got the weapons, man. They still got Zay Flowers, who he can produce when he wants to produce, and then you can never count out Mark Andrews. So that defense from the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially the offensive front, is going to have a long night if shit does not go our way. If they are not disciplined, if they are not strong up front. Everything starts up front. It starts up front. It starts with Cam Hayward. All right? It starts with our pass rushers, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, Jack Sawyer. It starts with them. And then we get Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter, and our guys in the backfield to do their job as well. But don't think that this game's going to be easy. It wasn't easy the first one, and sure as hell isn't going to be easy this time. But we got to play disciplined football defensively. No stupid penalties. No taunting penalties. No unsportsmanlike conduct. No stupid penalties that are going to cause us this game. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. The emotions are going to be high. The emotions are going to be high. Both teams are going to want this. And it's going to come down to which team wants it the most. And the emotions are going to be there. Coaches, Mike Tomlin has to keep our guys in check. Especially on the defensive side, where we know Jalen Ramsey can get a little bit chirpy. We cannot afford him to get suspended during this game. Get a taunting penalty, nothing. Nothing. We can't afford it. Let them do it. If Lamar Jackson wants to say some stupid shit to the ref, let him do it. If Zay Flowers wants to go off, let them do it. We are going to play smart, disciplined Pittsburgh football, especially on the defensive side, and we're going to get this job done and go on to the playoffs. We need a home playoff game in Pittsburgh. It's time. It's time. We need to win a playoff game. It's time. This could be Mike Tomlin's last season, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I stress. Remember in the beginning of the video, I said I was going to bring up again on why I think this could be the most important game in the year, in one of the Steelers' his existence of this franchise, especially Mike Tomlin's career. This could be the game where it decides if he's the head coach in the long term in Pittsburgh, if he is the head coach next season. This game will determine it. I think fans will want him out. Now, you can't kick him out because of his no trade clause and none of that, like LeBron, like Bradley Beal in the NBA for all my basketball fans. But what's going to happen if we lose this game? It's basically what I'm trying to come to my head. It's not going to be good. Fans, the organization, the city, it's not going to be good. We got to go out there and handle business, and I think we will. I think we will. Especially after last year, man, losing those 2 games back to back, losing to them 3 times last year. It stings. It stings. I know we get them the first game of the year, but at that point, this shit don't. That fucking game don't matter. This is what matters. This is the real Steelers and Ravens game. So let's continue to be good. Let's continue to be great, and let's go out there and play Pittsburgh football, man. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go, baby. Here we go. It's going to be a fun one, guys. I will be, again, live on the Sports Jedi Network for the watch along play by play with Kev. So make sure you guys go check that out. All the links will be in the description if you're watching this on Twitter. Links are in the bios at Sports Jedi Media. Follow. Make sure to be there tomorrow night. If you are checking this out listening to this on Spotify or anywhere else, I appreciate it. Make sure you go show some love here on the YouTube, on the X, so you get, just a better overall show. And I appreciate you guys for listening and supporting. We had a strong first month of doing the channel live, doing the channel where I'm actually speaking to you guys and not just tweeting. And you guys have shown a lot of support there, so I really appreciate it. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow for our halftime report and the play-by-play watch along on the Sports Jedi Network. The halftime play-by-play will be on PGH Chris TV X and the PGH Chris Show on YouTube. So with that being said, everybody have a great rest of your day. Let's go Steelers and enjoy some football.